Now I gotta tell you, I enjoy doing these test drive videos, and this one is going to be especially fun. 1970 Nova SS 427 Yenko clone. Big block power, Muncie 4-speed. It's got the center console gauges, in-dash tack gauge. Just a fun ride. I forgot to mention in my dash instrument panel video, I forgot to demonstrate the horn. So here's the horn. Okay, so you can tell that it works. I've driven this car so far probably between 50 and 100 miles, and today I'm going to drive it about another 50, maybe 60 miles. And I'm looking forward to it. What a fun ride. So with that, let's just go ahead and get started. Well, I just had a really fun ride. I tell you what, when you get a built big block with a Muncie 4-speed Hurst Competition Plus shifter, good times. So I'll go over the test drive results. On this video, probably drove, probably about 50 miles. Everything went excellent. I filled up with gas, and the gas gauge works. While I'm going through the gauges, I'll just finish that. Gas gauge works. The amp gauge, actually it's a battery voltage gauge. It works great. The engine temperature was on the cool side of normal. Of course, that's good. And the oil pressure gauge was around 60 to 70 pounds of PSI. So that's excellent. I'll start from the left and work right. There's actually two tachometers in this car. There's the factory in-dash SS style tachometer, works great. Then there's also this column mounted tachometer. I don't know why there's two in here, but there is. If a person wanted, they could easily remove the aftermarket column tachometer, but they both work. Okay. So the speedometer, the speedometer works nice. And when the speedometer showed like 65 miles an hour, the tachometer was right at about 2,800 RPM. Let's see, I already talked about the horn earlier, but horn works. The turn signal cancel cam works fine. You know, a pet peeve of mine is when you go around a corner and the signal lights don't go off. They go off fine, no problems. Let's see, going across, I think that's all for the instruments. Didn't use the heater, didn't use the radio. I already demonstrated all those in another video. So let's see, the engine runs really strong. This is a really fun ride, and the engine runs really strong. No unusual noises at all. Everything's really nice. The Muncie 4-speed shifted really nice. So did the Hurst Competition Plus shifter. The steering is standard steering. And yes, I know standard steering with a big block. I don't want to scare you away because it's actually not that hard to steer. I don't know. I think I would leave it alone if it was me, if it was my car to keep. The steering is nice and tight. There's no unusual amount of play, nothing like that. It does have power brakes, disc in the front, drums in the rear. And when you use the brakes, the car, brakes nice and straight. It does not pull left or right. The brakes are really nice. Wondering what else? Oh, the suspension. The suspension is set up really nice. It's got this Hotchkiss front coil springs. And I believe the rear leaf springs, they may be new as well. They look new. So the suspension's really nice and tight. No unusual squeaks or rattles, nothing like that. But speaking of squeaks, I don't know what it is, but when you're driving, sometimes this dash bezel has just a low volume but high pitch squeak. I don't know what it is. And you just touch this bezel and it quits. And then maybe a little later on, you can hear a faint high pitch like vibration squeak. You just touch this bezel and it quits again. Just wanted to make you aware of that. Oh, the cigarette lighter works because I'm using the port here for power for these two cameras. Let's see. I think that's probably the end of the review. It's a really fun car to drive, and and it looks fabulous. I'll tell you what, I've had Novas before, and this is my favorite Nova. It is really nice. Anyway, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. You can always check out more videos and more cars at gasvilleusa.com. And feel free to call me or text me at 479 636 7111.